Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, I'm really loud out here in the classroom. All right, so Donnell, you were number 3, right? No, were you number 3? I think you said you were number 3. So if you were number 3, I think you were. So one thing, Donnell, look at what you're doing too. You took the x plus 4 and you combine those together to get 5x. But I had help. It is too much to explain. Okay, that's all right, Donnell. Anyway, oops, let me just close this off. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you're only combining your like terms. So the x plus 4, those aren't like terms, right, guys? Not like terms. So don't put the x plus 4 together to get 5x because those are not the same. So what you want to do is take your negative 3 and you want to distribute that into the parentheses. So you want to do negative 3 times x, and then you want to do negative 3 times 4. And that's how you want to solve it. So, let's see. Tashana, are you 1? Okay, so on yours, you did the 3 times the 4, negative 3, and you got negative 12, so that was good. And then where did you get the 12 plus the 2? Oh, because the 2 times the 1?
Yeah.
Good. So you're just doing it differently, so then that's perfect. So you got 12 as a term and 24 as a term. And then where did you get the 96?
That's 24 times. I just ended the total. I just ended.
Okay. So on yours, so you know what you did is you did the distributing of the negative 3 times the 4 and the 2 times the 1 perfectly. But then you just want to make sure to do the negative 3 times the x. Did you do that one? And then the 2 times the negative 4x. I think that's where you left off. Okay. So, okay, you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do it with you guys. I know you're having such a great time on your own notepads and you're doing a good job, but let's actually go through it again together just to make sure we're on the same page and that way we can get through all of our material. So, let's do blue. All right, now you guys, what really helps me, and Janae, this is what we kind of did earlier today too, is to draw a line. So if you do the negative 3 and I draw a line to the x, that helps me remember to multiply that by the x. And then if I do a negative 3 times the 4 and draw a line, that helps me remember that. I also do that with the 2 because that helps me remember to multiply here as well. Okay. So then when you're doing it, I always write it right underneath. I try to keep things in order. So negative 3 times x is the negative 3x. And then negative 3 times 4 is plus a negative 12. Okay. Oh, hang on. Allow. Okay, or you can just write that as minus 12. And then we have 2 times negative 4x, which gives us negative 8x. And then 2 times 1 is plus 2. All right. So guys, are there any questions on what I did first with distributing? No? Actually, you're good too? You what?
I said it's an easy problem.
Oh, no, it's not. I mean, you just got to keep working. Today you erased all your stuff. You were on the right. Don't erase. You were doing good. Okay, now you guys, the next thing you want to do is you want to combine your like terms. So one way you can do that is underline what you want to combine first. So I'm going to combine the negative 3x with the negative 8x. So when I do that, I end up with, so think about this, negative 3 minus 8. That's the same thing as negative 3 plus a negative 8, which gives us negative 11x. Okay. Now I'm going to combine my negative 12 with my 2. So we'll do a different color there. So I have negative 12 plus 2. Negative 12 plus 2 is negative 10. And that is the final answer. Good, good. So Sean, are you confused on the 10?
No. Well, it was like I can't see it.
On yours? Is it too small?
Yeah.
Oh, you can click on, see where it says full screen?
Right here. Oh, your computer is different.
Oh, she has a little one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have a smaller computer,
Yeah.
and then you might be able to see.
She can see now.
So, Tashana, can you see where I distributed the -3 into both of those terms?
Because you did -3 times 4, right?
I did -3 times 4, but oh, go ahead.
And then you did 2 times -4.
Good.
Plus 1, or no?
And then we'll see the blue. Are you on the 2 right now?
Mhm.
So I did the 2 times the -4, like you said, and that's where I got my -8x down here. Then I did 2 times 1, and that's where I got my 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, don't forget that you have to take that term on the outside and put it into both terms on the inside.
And times it.
And times it. You got it. Good job. All right, you guys. So anybody have any questions on the warm-up? No questions?
Are we gonna do it again?
We're going to do some different stuff. You like doing these?
Yeah.
I'll give you guys another warm-up tune next time. I'll keep giving you guys these till you're perfect. Till you're perfect. All right. Well then, you guys, we're going to move on. Move on to the next slide, maybe. Oops. Oops, too far. Okay. All right, you guys. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because in your week 5, which is last week, you had to do some graphing. And the graphing that you had to do was a little bit, it was almost, in a way, I should say, so easy that it was hard. Okay.
I'm used to doing the dots, not the lines.
The lines?
Yeah,
I know.
I'm used to doing the dots.
Oh, yeah, just plotting one point and another and drawing the line?
Well, not drawing the line,
just putting the dots?
Yeah.
So that's good. Then just draw a line and you would have your graph, Janae, you would be good. Okay, well, I just want to go over how to graph these so that you guys know how to graph it when it's just x equals something or just y equals something, because that's really confusing for a lot of people, even though it's really easy, but it's for some reason really confusing. So the way you do it when it says x equals, you guys ready? Is you go on the x-axis. Okay, so the x-axis is the one that goes horizontally from left to right, and you go to where you find 4. So here's 4. So I put a dot on 4, and then all you have to do, this is how easy this is, you guys. All you have to do is draw a line, so I'm getting my line tool here, right through the 4. Because if you think about what this means, all that this means is that x is always going to be equal 4 no matter what y is, right?
But why is that the 6? Yeah. You didn't, well, there's a y down here, number 4.
Oh, I haven't done that one yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we only did one, but yes, you're right. When we get down there, I'll show you that one too. So we just did this first one, you guys. We just did number 1.
Well, how do you know where to stop the line?
Oh, it doesn't stop. That's a really good question.
So you just stop anywhere, you don't keep going up?
Yeah, because you guys see those arrows?
Stop in the middle.
You guys see the arrows on the end? That means that line goes to the up forever and down forever.
Oh.
And so all lines that we graph actually go on forever in both directions.
Okay.
Pretty amazing, I know.
Yeah.
So let's try, what we're going to do is we're going to do x equals -8. So where am I going to go first?
You're going to go to the 8 on the 8.
Yes, very good. Am I going to go to +8, you guys, or -8?
Negative.
-8, good job. So I go to -8, I'm going to put my dot there. Then I'm going to get my line tool, my crazy line tool. Let's see if it can go purple. And then I'm just going to draw a line right through x equals -8. So if you guys notice on this, no matter where I am for y, right? Like if I go for y is 4, my x value right here is still 8, right? If I go to where y is -6 and I come over, my x value is still 8. Because whenever you get an equation where it's just one variable like this, x equals -8, that means x always equals -8, no matter what.
So you can stop anywhere among as it's on 8.
Exactly. Okay, let's do some y's, you guys. Let's look at the y's. So y is just like x, only now we're on the y-axis. So we'll do a blue one. So where y equals -9, I'm going to go down to where y equals -9. You guys see that on the y-axis down there?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put my dot there. Then we're going to do just like we did before, and we're going to draw a line through that. But now it's y equals, so our line goes through y like this. Do you guys see how that line is?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? It's marvelous. Okay, so now let's do the same thing for y equals 6. So where am I going to go? first.
You want to go to the 6 on the y-axis, but not on the negative one. You don't want it on the top one.
Yeah, good job. Very good, you guys. So I'm going to go up where y equals positive 6 and make a point. And then I'm going to get my line going here. And I'm going to draw a line through y equals 6. So I just wanted to show you guys how to graph those graphs. They're very simple, and you'll see those in your Khan Academy practice.
You see where you stop? You stopped like at the 6 and like at the 4.
Oh, yeah.
That. I've always been used to plotting that way. Like wherever it stops.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And then instead of it keep going.
I know. So that's actually, yeah, Janae, I see where your point is. Just think of this line though. Is it like I could keep drawing it right off this page like that?
Yeah.
And I'll draw the other one off this page just 'cause it's fun to draw on here. But so this line actually goes on to infinity. Like if you think of infinity, that's a very far place. Yeah. It goes on forever and ever and ever. So I just draw them to stop so that you get kind of an idea. But yeah, lines go in either direction forever. And when we do our geometry unit, you guys will be studying that a little more. Okay, any questions on graphing just a y equals or an x equals? No. No? All right. How about from you guys over there at Gateway? You guys looking good over there? So when you get to week 5, okay, Danny, good, right on. When you guys get to week 5, you will have some Khan Academy practice problems where they'll have you graph like x equals 4 or x equals -8. But, okay, so let me actually show you what you're going to see first, though. So I wanted to show you that. But here's how Khan Academy will give you those couple. And I think you just have a couple. But they'll give it to you like this. So do you guys see these equations, 2x equals -6?
Yeah.
Well, if I go back, those aren't solved for x like these, right? These are all like x equals. But if you look at these are not x equals yet. You have 2x equals -6. So what you have to actually do is you have to first solve for x, exactly. So what we need to do is we need to take this and we need to solve. So if you guys remember from all your mad solving skills, because we've been working on it, yes we have, to isolate x we have to divide by 2, right? So I always put my line underneath and I divide by 2, and then I put my line underneath and show the division by 2. Okay, that just shows me. Very good, Ashley, exactly. So the 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that just leaves me with 1x, and you can write it as 1x or just x. And then as Ashley said, yep, very good, Danny, divide. -6 divided by 2 is, like we said, is -3. And now we just did this, right? You guys know how to graph x equals -3. You just go to the -3.
But aren't there longer problems than this?
No, actually, no. No, on the practice that you guys have, they're kind of nice because they're either y equals mx plus b, and we can do one if you want, actually, Janae, we can do one. Or they're just like this, and all you have to do is solve for x. And so I solved for x, and then you just draw your line. And so my line is going to go all the way through, maybe here, and I draw my line. And again, just for you, Janae, I drew it short, but remember, it can go forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember when we first did this, the problem was really long. So,
oh, yeah, those were some simplifying ones. On the graphing, they won't be like that.
Okay.
They'll be much shorter.
Those was really hard. I'm like,
no, you'll like the graphing because they are much shorter. So on this bottom one, you guys, it's a little bit more complicated because you have x's on each side. And I know we were working on this morning, but when you have x's on both sides, you got to move them all to one side, right?
Yeah.
So
close. You're thinking of
3
something.
times 2x. Okay. Oh, am I getting that right?
You're on the right track. You said the right number.
3 times 2x. And you got times it again, or just not minus?
You know what? You're so close, actually, Tashana. I'm going to help you a little bit. But you're on the right track with the 2x. Like, you got the 2x, but then you kept the 3 in there. So what? Go ahead,
I always
Janae.
move all the x's to one side, or whatever side is shorter. I always
Awesome.
move it to the bigger side.
Exactly. You guys, yes. So I'm going to move the 1x over here to be with the 3x, okay? You guys comfortable with that?
Yeah.
So in order for me to do that, though, I have to do the opposite. So I have to subtract the 1x. And I'm leaving off the 1 because it's understood there's a 1 in front. But whatever I do to one side, remember, I have to do to the other side, right?
Yeah.
So here's what I have. I have 3x minus 1x. What's that? 3 minus 1? 2x. And so see, Tashana, you got the 2x. You guys are all good together. And then over here, so I make sure to bring my equal sign down. X minus x, is that gone?
Yeah.
That is gone. And so then I just bring down the negative 15 here. So, very close. My final step is I have to get rid of the 2.
And divide.
Very good. I have to divide. Excellent. So it's being multiplied, and so to get rid of it, I want to divide. So, okay. So if I want to divide, I have to divide both sides, otherwise you don't have a balanced equation anymore.
And 2 divided by 2 is
Good, Danny, good. I see you're doing it. Excellent, excellent. And so the 2's give you 1, which is just your 1x, and I can put the 1 in front if I want, or I can just leave it as x. What is negative 15 divided by 2? It doesn't come out even, right?
7, negative 7.
Negative 7.5, or 7.5. So good job, you guys. Nice, very nice. Good mental math. Excellent. So I'm going to go over to, and don't worry that it's not whole, because I can still go to approximately 7.5, which is about there, right? And then I'm going to draw my line. But you guys wish you were drawing the lines on here. Huh, it's very fun. Oh, whoops, I'm in the wrong place. Yeah, I should focus more, huh? Okay, we're going to move it over. Maybe? Oh, no, okay. Something happened. Let's see if I can undo my line. There we go. We'll try the line tool again. All right, you guys, here we go. And that's much better, yay. Okay. So what I've done is I have graphed x equals negative 3 and x equals negative 7.5, just like we did before. We just had one extra step in the beginning, and that was we had to solve for x first. So when you guys are doing the 2 Khan Academy practices, and like I said, it's in week 5, I think it's only one practice actually. Just when you see those problems, come back to here and that will help you. But there's only 1 or 2 maybe in the whole practice. Otherwise, let me do, before we move on, you guys let me do one regular graphing one so that you guys can all see, because this is what most of them are going to be like. And we've kind of gone through these before, but it's easy to keep forgetting. So say you have a problem like this, actually. Let's say we do y equals, all right, guys, give me a slope. What slope do you want?
X.
So x will be next to our slope. So give me a number.
6.
Which one? We could do 6. We could do 6. It's going to be very steep, but that's okay. 6x, and then what do you guys want to be the y-intercept? 4. Okay, that's fine. We could do that. Okay. Now, you guys, these are actually the easiest ones to graph, believe it or not. I know you don't believe me, but they really are. All you do, the first thing you do, and think of it like points, Janae. You were talking about points.
Yes.
See that 4?
Yes.
That's your first point, and it's always on the y-axis because that's your y-intercept. Okay, so that 4 represents the y-intercept. So you go on the y-axis to 4 and make your point. And so you see how our point is right here? So there's one point. We need another point. So what are we going to use in our equation to get our second point? Does anyone know?
Isn't it X?
But you're close. It's the 6. The 6 is our only other number, right?
Yeah.
So we have to use the 6, but we have to use it correctly. Well, the 6 is your slope. So remember that 6 is rise over run, right? So our rise is 6. What's it over?
The X and Y.
If you don't see anything, well, what number is it over? If 6 is by itself, what could you put it over? And
1.
Yes, over a 1. Did you guys make sense what I was trying to ask for? Okay.
It's always either 1.
It's always 1. Well, if you see a number by itself, you can still write. You can write it as 4 or 4 over 1. You know, that's the same thing. And the only reason I did that is so you guys can see what the run is. So our rise is 6, our run is 1. So we have our 4. Well, it's a positive slope, so it needs to, if we're reading from left to right, it needs to go like this, right? It needs to rise up from left to right. Well, I'm going to go up 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 takes me to 10, and then over 1 is our run, takes me here. So see, now I have my 2 points. That's all you need in order to graph your equation. So if I graph my line,
So it's not, is it slow?
that has a slope on this one, yep. And the reason this one has a slope is because I have y and x in the equation. Because anything that's just y equals or just x equals will either be vertical or horizontal. There'll be no slope at all. But this one has a y and an x, so that causes the line to slope. Okay? So you guys, 2 points is all you need. Very good, Danny, you got the one. I saw that one. So if you graph your y-intercept and then you look at your slope, that's 6, that's how you find your second point. But don't go to the 6, that's the slope. So you go up 6 over 1. Okay, how's everyone feeling so far on the graphing now? Good? Okay. And we'll keep doing it. Like I said, we keep doing it, but I just want you guys to keep practicing it. Okay, this is actually our last slide, and then I just want to go over a couple things with you guys. So in this slide, we're going to write and solve an equation from scenarios. And actually, when I was looking in Schoology, you guys did a really good job. Those of you guys who did this, you actually did a good job making the equations. But then there was just a couple of struggles with plugging in the value to get your total. So that's why I wanted to look at this. And this actually was on your week 5 practice quiz, so this very same problem. So what we're doing today is actually in Schoology. So if you get what we're doing today, you can just re-put it in Schoology. So on this one, it says the cost of a birthday party at Splash is $200. So you have to just pay a set fee of $200. Plus you have to pay an additional $4 per every person, okay? So I give you some variables. Let C represent the total cost of the party, and let P represent the number of people. So anytime it says write an equation using C and P, what I want you guys to think of in your head right away is y equals mx plus b. Think of that equation, right? Y equals mx plus b. Except that we're not going to use y and we're not going to use x just because it relates to a real scenario. So we want to use variables that make sense to us. So instead of y, because y is always our total, we're going to say that's C. Okay, we have to still plug in for m. We have to find our slope, our rate of change. And then instead of x, we're actually using p. And then we still have to find b, which is our starting amount or our y-intercept when we were graphing. So always in these problems, you're always trying to find m and b, okay? Now let's look back at the problem. It says the cost is $200, so it's a one-time fee. So does that go in for m or b? So you guys type, is that a 200 an m value or is that a b value? Now, when you guys think of m is next to x, so m is like when you do your patterns, that's how much it grows by every time. Is the 200 growing or is it just a one-time fee?
It's a
One-time fee, good. So 200 has to go in for b, good job. So we're going to say that 200 is our b, so I'm going to make a little arrow up here and say that's b. And then obviously that just leaves m for the 4, right? So this is our m value. That is our change. So with each person we pay $4. So when we write our equation, we would have the cost is equal to $4 p per person, right? Plus a one-time fee of 200. So again, you guys did really a good job making those equations up in Schoology, but then this is where you struggled a little. It says if the cost of the party came to $324, how many people came to the party? So think about what we're trying to find. We're trying to find the number of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so we're trying to find P.
Is it 4? Is it 4 next to P?
Well, you know, that's a good
it's
guess.
Probably more than 4 because it's a party.
Yeah, it's a little more, but it was a good guess. But what you're going to do is plug the 324 in for either X or Y, in this case C or P, and then solve for the other one. So where's 324 going to go? Is that going to go under C, our total cost, or is that going to go P under number of people?
P.
It's the total cost because they're not telling us there's 324 people today. They're saying the total cost of the party was 324. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they had said there were 324 people, then yes, we would put that under P. But since there's a dollar sign in front of it, they're saying our total cost is 324. So notice how I put this in here. 324 is equal to 4. We need to actually find how many people went to the party. So we could guess and check and do that. But if you guys have an equation like this, it makes your life so much easier. Because now, because we've been practicing our solving skills, you guys can just solve it. So we will subtract 200 from both sides. Okay, so we're going to subtract 200 from both sides. So think about how you solve. Okay, and then let's write what we have. 324 minus 200 is 124. Okay, and then we carry our equal sign down, and then we still have our 4p. We didn't do anything to that. But then our 200 minus 200 is gone. Okay? It equals out?
Yeah.
Very nicely, doesn't it? I plan that for you guys. So now we need to get rid of the 4, and 4 is being multiplied by the p, so the opposite of that is division. So we're going to divide by 4. Okay. Now, if you have a calculator, definitely use it unless you know how to do 124 divided by 4, which I know is 31. And then 4, you what? Oh, did you not figure? Did you want? You could just told me. Wait, Miss Elliott, wait. So, how many people came to the party, you guys? 31. 31 people. And I did that. That's where equations can really help you, because as you know, if you don't use equations and then you have to do lots of things on your paper, it can take a long time. So you guys could have figured this out, you know, just by plugging and guessing, but that would take a really long time. So whenever we write equations, think of this mx plus b. Always the y represents the total at the end. The b value always represents your starting amount or one-time charge. And then the m is how much you grow by or how much it changes per something. Okay? All right, you guys. So that actually concludes our webinar for today. I wanted to let you guys know, though, that there is only, after this week, 3 more weeks. I think it's 3 more weeks, right? 3 or 4 more weeks, actually, in the quarter, okay? Yeah, only that much. Yeah, I know, we're almost done. So what I really want you guys to do is really focus on math for the next couple of weeks and try to get all your math caught up, okay? And then make sure if you haven't taken your test, to take your test. Don't be afraid, but do the review, because remember there's always a review, and that's just your mid-unit test. And then your final test is actually next week, I think. So if you haven't taken your mid-unit test from last week, get that done so you can take your final test, which is next week, okay? And there is a review for you guys for that too. So there's 2 reviews which will really help you, and whatever help you guys need, make sure you come to me so that I can work with you on that.
And the test that we did today,
What you guys are doing in, like what you did in Schoology today, those are just practices. But those are part of the things that are on your test. So by doing that, that's helping you. Yeah. And then there's actually, if you go to week 4, that's where the mid-unit review is. You can print off. The answers are in week 5. Okay, and then you have material this week, and then I believe it's next week, or maybe I think it's next week, is actually the whole week is just for your test. So you'll do your review at the start of the week, get as much help as you need, and then on Friday you'll take your final unit exam, and then we'll be done with Unit 1. Okay. Octavius, that's okay that you were late. That's fine. So Octavius, how are you, by the way? He's typing. Plays football, you guys, for Gateway. Good, I'm good too. Did you guys win this week? Your football game this week? Duh. Well, that's because you guys are awesome. You guys are rocking. Maybe you guys will win state this year. Hopefully. We will. Yes. Oh yeah, Danny, did you cheer at the game? Yeah, very nice, very nice. We probably need to go out and watch you guys so we can see you and Octavius in action. That would be good. Um, they're doing really well. They're having a good year. Yes, yes. Actually, I should. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do that. So you guys over there, over at Gateway, you guys work on your math as much as you can today. Really try to, push ahead. So like I said, you can take the test, and I will be there tomorrow to work with you guys as well. But whatever you can do today to kind of get through some material, that would be awesome. All right. Okay, you guys, any final thoughts, questions, comments, needs? No? All right.
I understand us more than instructors.
Very good, Ashley. I'm glad. I'm glad. Well, I mean, I'm not glad, but I'm glad. Okay, you guys. Well, I will see you. Thank you, guys. I will see you all tomorrow or else Tuesday if I don't regularly see you. Have a good day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right,
Oh,
you
my
guys.
butt hurts.